Sometimes we hear claims that a simple cream can tighten the vagina overnight, restore youthfulness, or fix intimacy challenges with just a few applications, and naturally, people get curious, hopeful, or even anxious. So today, we're going to talk about the truth about vaginal tightening creams, what they can actually do, what they absolutely cannot do, and why so many people feel drawn to these products in the first place. And we're going to go deeper than just the physical side, because intimacy is never just about the body. It's about emotions, trust, communication, and the beliefs we carry about ourselves. I'm the intimacy doctor, real talk, real science, real intimacy, and today we're opening a conversation with honesty, clarity, and compassion. Before we go into the science, I want to name something important. Whenever people search for something like vaginal tightening creams, it's rarely just about the product. Behind that search, there's often a feeling, maybe worry, maybe pressure, maybe a desire to improve intimacy, maybe a fear of being judged, or a belief that something needs to be fixed in order to feel desirable or connected. And intimacy, real intimacy, thrives on awareness and communication, not fear or insecurity. So let's move through this topic with a grounding mindset instead of panic or shame. Point one of the biggest myths out there is the idea that the vagina becomes loose in a permanent way because of age, previous partners, or childbirth, and that a topical cream can reverse all of that. But this belief comes more from cultural misunderstanding than science. The vagina is made of muscular and elastic tissue designed to expand and contract naturally. It is not a passive space that loses its shape like worn-out fabric. It is living, adaptable, responsive, and influenced by hormones, stress, arousal, and health. Many vaginal tightening creams rely on ingredients that create a temporary sensation, often a mild tissue swelling or temporary constriction, but these effects are short-lived and more about sensation than actual structural change, and this leads us to our first major insight. Many intimacy challenges come from perception, not permanent physical change. Research in relationship psychology shows that when people feel anxious about their bodies, the anxiety itself, not the body, becomes the main barrier to connection. When someone worries, am I tight enough? Will my partner think something is wrong? Will they compare me? The nervous system shifts into stress mode. Stress reduces lubrication, increases tension, and decreases pleasure. So even if a cream gives a slight temporary sensation, it doesn't address the emotional piece, the part that truly shapes intimacy. And this is where communication comes in. When partners can talk openly about fears, preferences, and insecurities without judgment, intimacy becomes deeper, softer, safer. What do you think? Have you ever noticed how much your emotions affect your physical experience? Share your thoughts below. Our second major insight is that most tightening creams work through short-term surface-level effects, not long-term muscular improvement. Some products include astringent herbs or ingredients that create a tightening sensation, but they do not strengthen pelvic muscles. They do not rebuild elasticity. They do not reverse childbirth effects. They do not regenerate tissue. What they can do, at best, is temporarily change the way the tissue feels for a short time, usually minutes to hours, and this is not harmful when used correctly, but it is also not a true solution. The challenge is that when people believe these products will fix something that is not broken, they may place the responsibility for intimacy on the cream instead of on communication, trust, and emotional connection. In behavioral research, we see that when individuals rely on external tools to solve internal concerns, it often creates a cycle of insecurity. For example, if someone believes, I need this cream to feel worthy or to satisfy my partner, they place their confidence outside themselves. But intimacy built on external tools is fragile. Intimacy built on communication, authenticity, and shared emotional safety is resilient. If this resonates, feel free to hit that like button so more people can find videos like this. Our third major insight is that strengthening and responsiveness come from the pelvic floor, not the surface tissue. Pelvic floor muscles are internal muscles that support the bladder, uterus, and rectum, and they play a major role in sensation and sexual response. When these muscles are strong and coordinated, people often describe feeling more lifted, more supported, and more responsive. When overstressed, weak, or imbalanced, such as after childbirth, chronic stress, or long periods of tension, people may feel less control. Topical creams do not train muscle. They cannot do what mindful pelvic floor exercises, breathwork, or pelvic therapy can do. And this is where the emotional intelligence piece matters. Pelvic floor tension is often emotional. It's shaped by stress, trauma, fear, or even relationship pressure. So when we approach the body with curiosity rather than criticism, we allow healing instead of forcing outcomes. Think about it. How often do we judge our bodies instead of listening to them? How often do we compare ourselves to unrealistic standards instead of recognizing that every body changes and adapts over time? You're welcome to share your reflections in the comments. This is a safe space. Our fourth insight is about influence, how society shapes our beliefs about what intimacy should feel like. Many people, especially women, are told directly or indirectly that their worth is tied to their tightness, as if their body needs to meet a standard to be valued. But real relationship science shows that emotional connection, trust, communication, and mutual responsiveness are far more meaningful to long-term intimacy than physical metrics. Partners consistently report higher satisfaction when they feel emotionally close, seen, understood, and safe. The physical part matters, of course, but it is deeply influenced by the emotional climate of the relationship. A tightening cream may provide temporary sensation, but it cannot create emotional closeness. It cannot replace communication. It cannot heal insecurity. What truly deepens intimacy is presence, being fully there with someone, emotionally and physically. And presence is something we practice, not purchased now. Our fifth insight brings everything together. Intimacy improves most when we combine body awareness, emotional awareness, and relational communication. A cream may give temporary effects, and that's fine if someone enjoys the sensation or feels curious to try it. There's nothing wrong with exploring. But when we look for long-term improvement, we look at the whole picture. How is your stress level? How is your pelvic floor health? How is your emotional connection with your partner? How safe do you feel to express your desires or concerns? How comfortable are you discussing what actually feels good? How often do you prioritize your own pleasure, not just performance? These are the deeper layers that most advertising never talks about, because insecurities sell better than empowerment. But here, we talk about empowerment. We talk about awareness. We talk about growth. If more conversations in relationships shifted away from insecurity and toward connection, products like these would be approached with curiosity instead of fear. As we come toward the end of this conversation, I want to invite you to reflect. What made you click on this video? Was it curiosity? Concern? A desire to deepen intimacy? Whatever the reason, I'm glad you're here. Awareness is growth. Understanding is empowerment. And you deserve information that honors your body and your emotional world. If you're comfortable, share your thoughts below. Have you heard any myths about tightening creams? Have you ever felt pressure to meet physical expectations? Has communication improved your relationships in ways you didn't expect? This is a judgment-free community. And your story may help someone else feel less alone. If this video helped you understand the truth about vaginal tightening creams and the emotional dynamics behind intimacy concerns, make sure to like this video so it reaches more people who need a compassionate explanation. And if you want more conversations about intimacy, relationships, emotional health, communication, and self-awareness, subscribe to The Intimacy Doctor and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our weekly episodes. We go deep, we stay real. And we build emotional intelligence together. And if you're curious about what actually improves intimacy long-term, not just for a moment, make sure you watch the next video, where we explore how emotional connection transforms physical experience and why relationship safety shapes desire more than anything else. It's a gentle but powerful shift in how we understand closeness. I'll see you there.